the people are expecting. That the monies in the hands of these people are so much that when we take them, we can help in development, then they will not allow you. How about the National Cathedral, my brother?
Oh, but what about it?
What about public? Jesus Christ. That President Akufo Addo is able to speak in this country. He took my $97 million to go and dig a hole, while the current president traveled 22 hours to go to Japan and then go and look for the same amount to come and better our agriculture. And he's about telling us that, oh, abandon go here. It will not go well because he expects this president to hold him before a committee of inquiry to investigate him. But you are not doing it. All the pastors who were there have now gone bananas. They are now quiet. They are now mute.
National Cathedral?
National Cathedral. What is Kusibuati? Where is he? Where is he? The one that was telling us that we will be cooking Jewish food, Israeli food, Pakistani food, as if our contemporary fufu and it's not enough. You were born eating fufu and besie. You grew up only to learn in your thinking. Eating Jewish food.
There will be also the Wailing Wall stone. There will be one stone.
So the stones in this country are not, where he is coming from? The Asante region. There's a place called Boakye. All the stones in this world are there. They are mice. You see the imperialist thinking.
The Wailing Wall stone?
What is Wailing Wall? They have been going there, they come back and steal from us. Israel, when they are going to war, did they go with the Wailing Wall? Don't they bomb? They are making bombs. You are sitting here telling us that you are going to Israel to go and bring Wailing Walls or whatever. We are not serious as a country. So if Domelevo is saying this, I agree with him 100%, my brother. That the people of this country, particularly the youth, they are not waiting for any other thing. Where is Kwaku Annan? All of a sudden he's mute, he's quiet. The one that's Sputnik V.
The 88 million.
Jesus. Kwaku Annan all of a sudden have gone bananas. And you people want us to forget. During COVID, they were sharing money like any other business to NPP funds. I remember Felicia Tete, the vice chair of the NPP in the northern region, who was giving 100,000 cedis and said she was giving that money by virtue of she being a parliamentary candidate.
So far of the year.
Okay, let's watch Daniel Domelevo and then we'll start the discussions.
Okay.
So if you follow the briefing that the Attorney General has been given, a lot of work is going on. Will you ask, are you satisfied? I'll say no. I am not satisfied. Because I can't see the end of the tunnel, not to talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. I can't even see it. I don't even see the end of the tunnel before the light, because I know this may continue until there's a change. In fact, the prayer of the corporates and their lawyers is that there should be a change in government. Then you hear nolli prosequa and etc. and our money is gone. The procedure that Attorney General currently is using is going to be very difficult. 9 months. 9 months is not small, my brother. We are, before we realize, we have finished a quarter of the term of President Mahama. So I think we have to change the speed at which we are moving and let people gain the.
So just in summary, Charlie, you guys, your AG, very slow, tortoise.
Well, I
you know, opposition, yabi, oral means what? One advocate who says that he's been working like a tortoise is solo, always talking about every Wednesday when he comes here. Why?
So, Roland, I think it's important for us to understand the concept of oral. Oral was born out of the crucible of the public outrage. It was a national response to decades of entrenched graft, impunity, and systemic plundering of Ghana's public resources. Oral was not only a policy initiative, but it was also a moral crusade to get the people of Ghana to understand that regardless of your political affiliation or social status, when given the opportunity to manage any public office, you cannot and you must not engage in any act of corruption. And that is why the people of Ghana responded positively. And I can tell you that the message resonated with the Ghanaian people because people had lost confidence in political leadership, and Ghanaians saw in 8 years how the resources of this country were plundered, especially by the President Akufo Addo administration. And so the expectation of many Ghanaians who wanted to restore dignity and restore confidence, public trust in governance, was that Ora will be the vehicle to get people to account for their stewardship. And so, generally, because it's a policy that resonated with the Ghanaian people, you would expect people to make comments or arguments, asking or trying to question why 9 months into office, nobody has been prosecuted, or they are not seeing people in court. But oral as a vehicle, the credibility of it, Roland, rests also on the fact that beyond getting the outcomes, it must be done with proper due diligence. Roland, there's no substitute for due diligence in the administration of justice. I have so much confidence in the Attorney General, but it's important for people to know how these things work. And so 9 months, it may appear, it may seem to people that we are delaying or we are slow in prosecutions. But within the legal remits, within the exercise of legal authority, I believe that we are on course. Now, let me tell you how these things work. Oral committee was established even before the president was sworn in. At the time, the minority, the NPP, those who today are questioning why Oral is not delivering the outcomes that they are expecting, questioned why President Mahama was in a rush to set up Oral at the time he was not even sworn in. They actually questioned the legality of the committee. But we did that because President Mahama recognized, he was fully aware that in getting these issues investigated and for prosecution to start, it may take such a long time. And so he was in a hurry to get a committee to even start working. Now, after the committee's report, these reports are handed over to investigative bodies. Investigations will go on from Yoko, NIB, and all the others. After the investigative reports are out, it takes time again to turn those reports into dockets before you can go to court. Roland,
yes, sir.
As I speak, the NPP know, and he knows that a number of former officials, hundreds of former appointees of the previous regime have been attending to investigative bodies. Go to Yoko, let your producers go. Go to NIB. Some of them on daily basis, they are appearing answering questions. Now, when all these processes are completed, the Attorney General will go to court. And I am confident that we are not only interested in rushing to court, where we saw in the past how government law, sometimes even with the low-hanging fruits, the court will strike out the case based on technical grounds, not necessarily because the act was not committed, but because maybe there were some procedural challenges. And so our Attorney General is very meticulous, his deputy very meticulous, and I have so much confidence that oral may appear slow, but gradually, Roland, before long, we'll begin to see the prosecution of these people. I understand. Recently, I met somebody who told me, look, why are you people taking so much time? Because there are some low-hanging fruits. And the person started, that are you telling me that it is too technical to prosecute those who were involved in spending over $58 million in digging a big hole? Are you telling me that the 25 billion that we lost in the banking sector cleanup and all the other cases, the ambulance case involving Howard Kumsen and many others, there are technical issues? And I told the person that these are issues that requires meticulous investigations, and I believe that proper actions will be taken. Roland, We are not slow, and I believe that before the 4 years ends, Ora will deliver the kind of results that the people of Ghana are expecting. Again, the Attorney General is not slow.
When the policy was outdoors as a campaign message, it was supposed to be a policy implemented over a 4-year period. Is that what you're saying?
But when you go to the people to seek political power, it is for 4 years. We never promised that we're going to prosecute everybody in 10 months. We never promised that people were going to be jailed in 1 month, in 1 year. Roland, the legitimacy and credibility of Ora hinge not merely on its outcomes, but on fairness and integrity of its methods. Roland, the credibility and legitimacy of Ora, again, hinge also not just on some political urgency or expediency, but it must be done properly and creditably. I believe that before the tenure of President Mahama ends, all the cases of corruption, all those involved, will be properly investigated.
I see.
And will be prosecuted.
So year 1.
Justice rush.
Year 2.
Is justice risk.
Year 3.
And Ghana's moral and institutional rebirth,
year 4,
Roland, must not be done to satisfy only political expediency. I understand. As a member of parliament, in all my engagement with the people come to you and they ask questions about Ora. Look, there are some voters who told me that even if President Mahama does not perform well in the economy or bread and butter issues, if he is able to arrest and prosecute those who plundered the resources of this state, they will be okay. But I am telling you that the credibility of Ora hinges also on its methods, not just the outcomes. Have faith with us. Have faith with Dr. Ayine and Dr. Justice I. And I tell you, all those who must be prosecuted will be prosecuted.
Dr. Sato, what do you make of all this? Because it was a huge thing, right? I remember at that auditorium at UPSA, and subsequently after the win of President John Dramani Mahama and then Nana Jino Pukwajman Prof, well, everybody said, you know, and the updates were coming from March, April, May, then now it's still.
Thank you. In summary, what you heard from Adam is what the political jargon is today. You go explain tire. You go explain, you go tire, no happen.
You go what?
You go explain tire. Let me tell you something. Oral has achieved its biggest objective. Oral is the biggest and the best political sloganeering we've had in the last 2 decades of this country. It was nothing but cheap political slogan.
How can you say that?
The central objective of Oral was to help ANDC to gain power. They've done that. So Oral has finished his job. So, Mr. Domilevo, I can understand your frustration and disappointment. Before Honorable Domilevo came, it was the General Secretary of the NDC who were meeting NDC lawyers, complained bitterly that there are lawyers within the NDC who are trying to make deals, or there are members that are trying to make deals with former government employees when it comes to some of these things. And that he was telling them to stop it and not to do it because that is not what the NDC campaign upon. So what I'm saying is that Oral has already achieved its objective. That objective was to use it to smear, to criticize, to chastise members of the former government, portray them as corrupt so that you can
well, Dr. Zato, if you make allusions to the General Secretary who made complaints about ongoing cases falling within the purview of Oral, it means that in altruism, there exist cases of embezzlement, perceived corruption to prosecute. So what's your case? You're self-indicting your argument.
My case is this, that Oral was nothing but a cheap political slogan used to get power. Now that you have power, there's no way to go.
But the prosecutions are going on.
I believe in something called regime and post-regime accountability. I've said it here and I'll say it again. I define regime accountability as a situation where a certain government is able to hold your own appointees accountable for their actions and inaction. that a sitting government, a sitting regime, a sitting attorney general is able to tell members of your own party, members of your own government that you have done this wrong, you've committed this crime, prosecute you, and if you are found guilty by the cause, jail you. I call that regime accountability. Where that is not possible, or when that is not sufficient, or when that is not done, I move to the second thing, what I call post-regime accountability. There, when you leave office and a new government comes, that new government still has the right. So, in fact, no right should still go ahead. And if they find evidence against you, evidence that was either ignored or evidence that was thrown out, will hold you accountable and will prosecute you. Because the day you swore an oath to serve in public office is the day you swore an oath to be held accountable for your actions and inactions. The day you swore an oath to assume public office is the day that you know that a day of reckoning and a day of accountability to come. And so no government official should be afraid or surprised that he or she will be investigated or he or she will be examined for what you did with the people's money, for what you did with the people's resources. So for me, I have absolutely no problem with any regime, any mechanism that is being used to hold government officials to account. No problem at all. In fact, where there are excesses, in this case, when the coercive power of the state is used, and where bail, as we've seen, has sometimes been weaponized against people, I have complained about it. I have said that we don't live in a jungle, we live in the rule of law, and I've said that people's fundamental human rights should not be abused in the name of accountability, that you can do both. You can respect people's fundamental human rights and yet take the people through the normal judicial process and get results. I've said that. But coming to oral, no. Oral was never meant to hold people accountable, and oral was never meant to be an accountability tool. And that is why today you are still seeing that 8 months of the regime is not happening. Look, some people that come, and let's not make this idea that there are people that are not being held accountable or say no. There are people that are being held accountable in this regime. The Signals Bureau guy, he's standing trial, right? What's the name? The former, the train thing. Skytrain thing. Somebody's been tried for. So where there has been actionable evidence, we've seen it happening. So we shouldn't also create this idea that people are not being held accountable.
Well, Dr. Zato, do you agree, and because you hold a PhD, that when it comes to prosecution and acts of prosecution, you have to make sure you gather evidence, and the evidence have to be solid enough to be able to persuade the court actionably to be able to prosecute?
You don't need a PhD to know that.
Great. So why are you then complaining that it's a campaign promise just to get the former regime out of office when you know, given and also cited examples, that even there are ongoing prosecutions?
I'm not complaining. It's Honorable Domilevo who is complaining. It's the General Secretary of the NDC who is complaining. It's the public that is complaining. I didn't complain.
And you seem to side with him.
No, I didn't side with him. I am telling them.
You have never sided with him? You're not siding with him?
People have complained, and we are not. I want to tell them why they are complaining. And I'm trying to tell you the reason why I think they are complaining is because they were misled to believe that this was an accountability tool. They were misled to believe by the NDC that it was a transparency tool. They were misled by the NDC to believe that they honestly and sincerely want to defend the public peace. But all the actions and inactions of the NDC since they come to power has meant that they don't give a damn about the public peace. That they don't give a damn about campaign, because how can you on the one hand say you've come and said you are issuing up nolly prosecutors like toffee on Christmas Day, and then on the other hand you say you care about accountability? Who does that? Who goes and tells somebody that here's a knowledge prosecute, go. Here's a knowledge prosecute, go. Take the knowledge as if you are standing in Tubu Market and you are sharing cakes. And then you come back and say you care about the public peace. If they truly care about public peace, they would have allowed all these cases to go through their natural order and allowed the courts to make ruling on them. Then we would have known that oral was not just a mere political gimmick and was not just a political slogan. But on the one hand, you are telling, see, that's what the last time I described is a Tom and Jerry justice here. That for our friends, for our colleagues, those who are in DC, take a dollar, prosecute, go home, shut up, don't talk again.
I'm trying to get your last point. Because
I'm making both points.
Because at the end of the day, knowledge prosecute is a tool, that's the preserve of the Attorney General.
And it just so happens that only NDC members get the knowledge prosecute this time. Only NDC members get the knowledge prosecute.
You are timed out.
No, NDC members never got it.
Dr. Zato, you're timed up. And you have complained consistently.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think that following the complaints of Daniel Yadomelevu, an astute auditor general, who even after being removed from office kept on the public persona of pursuing grafts, corruption, and acts perceived to have led to loss of huge monies to the state, for which even you, as a person, as a political person, and then an entrepreneur, you say that speed is needed by the Attorney General if he wants to gain public confidence in the subject matter of oral? Because
you need speed. Either than that, these people will dissipate the money, the remaining amount of money.
They'll be hiding the cash?
They're hiding. They are finding ways and means of trying to get it out of the country. And that is a source of worry to many of us. You see, listening to Zato, I don't blame him, because it is this administration that is allowing him to be saying all the things that he's saying. For the first time in the history of this country, we have a finance minister that after his tenure, after the party lost power, he has run away from this country. Are you not aware that Ken Ofori Atta has run away from this country?
I saw photos of him with a school.
He has virtually abandoned the country that gave birth to him. You think if he did anything good, he would be running away and living in a cold environment? It tells you that he himself agrees that the sort of things that they did to this country, and believe you me, there is a correlation between poverty, as Adam was describing, that when you go to his constituency, 4 classes, they have about 4 teachers. There's a correlation between the thievery that happened under the last 8 years and the denial of these innocent peoples of getting teachers, and for that matter, quality teachers. So why must we be lying to ourselves? We live with these people in our society. We know them, we knew them before they got into power, and we know what they have acquired now. And that their salaries can never support it. But for thievery, but for stealing, it can never support it. Go to Tamale. I'm giving you a simple as go to Tamale. The moment you get to the station, just ask the taxi drivers. By the way, I agree to all my people in Tamale that they should go and show you where the MPs and the ministers that stole government lands. They will tell you, this one is for this one is for that, this one is for that. Go there. The other gentleman, what's his name? Hanan. They will show you
buffer stock
apartments that he put up in record time. That he couldn't have ordinarily done it. So why do we come and sit here and pretend and lie to ourselves as though we do not know that people actually stole from us? So Domlevo is right on point. And mind you, he is also the chair of Yoko. And if you're going to go by this pace, in any case, was it not this Attorney General that came to tell us that the National Service scandal, 548 million, had just been stolen by about 4 or 5 people that mentioned names, and promised us that he was going to go to court by the end of July? Are we in July? What are we talking about? That we know that they have stolen from us, and you people want to use beautiful nonsense to cover our faces, cloud our thinking. No, it's not going to happen.
They are just using jargons.
Jargons, and they are just doing business. Look, what Fifi Akoto said was the truth, that people are cutting deals.
No, I disagree with you.
People are cutting. The General Secretary of the party said, people are... Is that what?
Fifi didn't say that.
Is that what?
No. Fifi didn't say that.
What
Please, go ahead with that. Please, excuse me. Let him make his argument. Let him make his argument. Please write.
General Secretary of the NDC said people within the NDC were doing deals. That was preventing the government from acting, which I agree. You see the word on the street there. The street guys, the voters of this country, they are not dumb. That is why I disagree with Zato. That they lied to the people of this country with aura. People in this country saw what was happening. Don't mistake their intelligence. They saw the plain thievery. How is it that as a country we borrowed 13.5 billion from the international market? $13.5 billion. Can you match any development in this country to that? Only a couple of days ago, the former president came to tell us that his darkest moment was the DDEP. What caused the DDEP? We have been treated to PDS in this country. You remember PDS? PDS.
The privatization. It made us lose the
a lot of money. Look, they brought a deal called, a policy called gold for oil. Have you heard what the money has said about it? that it allowed people to, as it were, evade taxes to the tune of 7.5 billion Ghana cedis. That's 7.5 billion. Whose pocket did it go to? 7.5 billion Ghana cedis. Whose pocket did it go to? In fact, the Bank of Ghana told us that they lost 1.82 billion through that transaction. And we are here playing with this oral thing.
You think they are just sugarcoating?
They are sugarcoating. 9 months is enough. The rate at which they are going is not good for their own government. I don't care as an opposition party because our party is ready. We will take advantage of that. But I do not need to wait for my party to take over before actions are taken.
Do you think the Attorney General,
yes,
and the pace at which he's undertaking the prosecution,
yes,
alongside his deputy and the state attorneys, they are disappointing the ordinary Ghanaians who voted for the John Mahama Nana Jeno Poko Ajiman government? Necessarily not only NDC.
They are disappointing the masses of the party. I'm telling you, if Ayeni goes to town and meet NDC, functionally, he may be chased. They may chase him out. I'm telling you, if he's listening to me, he must take my words very serious. Because the word out there is not good for him. The impression there is not good for him. Especially who advised him to change his modus operandi. That he will be addressing the people of this country periodically. Why did he change from that?
Well, how do you mean that?
When he was briefing us about the cases that he was going through, all of a sudden he stopped. Who asked him to stop?
I don't understand. You mean with the bravado with which he was doing, he slowed down?
It was so good for the people of this country. You were alerting, you were briefing us periodically.
The briefings?
The briefings. Why did he stop? Who asked him to stop? Was it the case that people were complaining behind the scenes that, oh, you were putting us on the spotlight and making life unbearable for us? That is why he stopped. If for nothing at all, since the MPA case went to court, we have not heard anything. Mustafa Hamid, have you heard anything about it? Mustafa Hamid's case, have you heard anything from there?
The OSP case.
The OSP. You see, we cannot shortchange the people of this country. We have suffered too much in the hands of politicians. People come and just steal from us and then tell us that we are not smart. Hey, being smart is to steal from the state? No, what about the National Scholarship Secretariat? The scandal that we are hearing from. What else do you need? In fact, this government has been so lucky that evidences are coming from the people. The S1 administration, few of them that didn't steal, they are giving you the evidence. How can we be told by the former boss of NLA, Sammy?
You mean following the fourth estate investigation?
Jesus Christ. And he is bold enough to be going around.
He has responded.
Responded? If you were in a serious country by now, he will be facing a public inquiry.
Oh, solo.
That your own act asks you to, as it were, be doing lottery to support the destitute, to support the poor, to support the mentally deranged, and so on and so forth. Is Godfredami's department or Godfredami mentally deranged or destitute or poor? Why did he give the Attorney General Department 570,000? The First Lady, is he poor? Was she poor? Rebecca Akufo Addo, was she deranged? Was she destitute? Why did he give that office?
Well, this is for the foundation.
Which foundation? That foundation didn't even dig a borehole, a single borehole. Did you see it? What about the Chief of Staff's office? What were they doing there? He gave them money. You are there dashing money left, right. A young man that will give you an opportunity to serve the people of this country. You come and do this beautiful nonsense and you go around and bold enough. You are not even mindful that it was public money that you were using to be defending this indefensible. We cannot do that. Now those that are the NLA, I'm telling them, you cannot tell us that we will be doing lottery and private persons will be taking that money. And you think it's a good thing and you are quiet. These are what is eroding the confidence of the people. Either than that, there is no way the way they are performing. Now you have been able to stabilize the currency. As we speak, the referencing rate has come to 17.889%. As against what they left, inflation has reduced from the 23% to now under 10%. You could have been making noise with this. But because the people are expecting that the monies in the hands of these people are so much that when we take them, we can help in development, then they will not allow you. How about the National Cathedral, my brother?
Oh, but what about it?
What about Jesus Christ. That President Akufo Addo is able to speak in this country. took my $97 million to go and dig a hole, while the current president traveled 22 hours to go to Japan and then go and look for the same amount to come and better our agriculture. And he's about telling us that, oh, Abandon go here. It will not go well because he expects this president to hold him before a committee of inquiry to investigate him. But you are not doing it. All the pastors who were there have now gone bananas. They are now quiet. They are now mute.
National Cathedral.
National Cathedral. What is Kusibuati? Where is he? Where is he? The one that was telling us that we will be cooking Jewish food, Israeli food, Pakistani food, as if our contemporary fufu and it's not enough. You were born eating fufu and besie. You grew up only to learn in your thinking. Eating Jewish food.
There will be also the Wailing Wall stone. There will be one stone.
So the stones in this country are not, where he is coming from? The Asante region. There's a place called Boakye. All the stones in this world are there. They are mines. You see the imperialist thinking.
The Wailing Wall stone.
What is Wailing Wall? They have been going there. They come back and steal from us. Israel, when they are going to war, did they go with the Wailing Wall? Don't they bomb? They are making bombs. You are sitting here telling us that you are going to Israel to go and bring Wailing Walls or whatever. We are not serious as a country. So if Domelevo is saying this, I agree with him 100%, my brother. That the people of this country, particularly the youth, they are not waiting for any other thing. Where is Kwaku Annan? All of a sudden he's mute, he's quiet. The one that's Sputnik V.
The 88 million.
Jesus. Kwaku Annan all of a sudden have gone bananas. And you people want us to forget. During COVID, they were sharing money like any other business to NPP funds. I remember Felicia Tete, the vice chair of the NPP in the northern region, who was giving 100,000 cities and said she was giving that money by virtue of she being a parliamentary candidate. They said they cooked 54 million cities worth of food. Did you eat some? Did any of your family members eat some?
No, they said it was hot food in packs.
With hot food. These people, and we sit on this, and we want to glorify it. And people got the nerve. They were on the street a couple of days ago saying the police was intimidating them. Thieves were on the street telling you that police was intimidating. You cannot entertain that.
Oh, sorry. You cannot say some of these
no, that is what they are doing.
Your time is up.
So, Ayene and the deputy, if they think the manpower needed in their offices are not enough, they must recruit more. They must get more private investigators. They must go for our money. That's all that we are looking forward to. The operation recover all loot. In fact, in this instance, they didn't say some loot. And by the way, we are also going to petition Parliament to immediately amend Act 1079 that allows for plea bargaining. We cannot live in a country where we would encourage Sister 40, that they come, they steal us, and you allow Sister 40. It's not going to happen. You are paying plus interest, because the net effect of all the actions and inactions of politicians is what is leading us to this stage. Sarkozy is being prosecuted for going for money in Libya.
The former French president.
Now Ranger Tang, the Chinese former minister of Agric, is facing death penalty on corruption. Is that not the case? So what makes Ghanaians think that these people are a special breed of people?
This is prosecution. Adam, you said prosecution is...
Adam is, you know, I can understand his difficulty. He himself is mad. You know, he started with an opening preamble that if you have been
very angry?
I can understand his difficulty. He cannot bash his own people. But unfortunately for me, I am not in that position. I can look straight into their faces and tell them as it is that they are misbehaving. They are sleeping on the job.
So,
Roland, I think you know my history on your program.
A great history, yes.
If
it happens,
that at any point
he said he will not be surprised that at the end of the 4 years nothing will be done.
If at any point in time I am convinced that indeed we are slow, I'll point it. But I am telling you that contrary to the views of Mr. Domelevo, the Attorney General is not slow. Because Mr. Domelevo is the chairman of the board of IOCO. Only September 15th, 11 reports were submitted by IOCO to the Attorney General's department. To the process of turning those reports into dockets before taking legal actions, it is not a child's play. Roland, the pursuit of justice in complex financial matters and in asset tracing, demands meticulous investigation. It demands adherence to legal standards and the unwavering application of due process. I am of the view, and I agree. You see, the likes of Solo and many others who are expressing their frustration at the seemingly slow pace of the execution, it is because for you, oral is more than just a policy.
Absolutely.
For you, you saw and you witnessed
and
the plundering of our public wealth. So I agree. The passion, the enthusiasm, the energy. But I am telling you that we need to temper the enthusiasm with patience because due process has no substitute in legal application.
The national service case.
These cases, recently the courts went on holidays.
Yes.
As the judicial year resumes, I know for a fact, and you say Solo is laughing, but you see, it exposes. I mean, Dr. Zato is laughing. He's happy.
I'm laughing because he's a home man.
You are laughing because.
You see? He comes here as an NPP man. He doesn't want us to refer him as he said, home match. Which home match is that?
It's okay.
No, Roland.
Let's have some decorum here.
You must give us a designation. He's an NPP member. I'm a movement for change member. Soon to be president. He's an NPP member.
Even you are a former member of the NPP.
Yes. Okay. So with Dr. Zato.
Not from the former.
With Dr. Zato, I am surprised that he's going around talking all over the place on this issue. They are the same people that when their former ministers, former appointees are invited, they match their parliamentarians to go and sit on the floor, trying to interfere with the work of Iyoko. You see, this laughter that you have this morning, let it be on record. Mark it. In a few months, this laughter will turn into tears. Because I know for a fact that the Attorney General's Department is meticulously pursuing all of these cases, and all of them will be brought to book. But again, it should even be a shame for you as a member of the NPP that the people of Ghana cannot wait to have you people prosecuted. It should be a shame because they saw how you looted. Look, there are many of the issues. Today, SML.
Yes.
SML. Why is Ken Ofori Atta not able to come? If you were a party of principles and accountability, you should be able to bring your former finance minister to come and account. Why is he in Washington? Why is he running away? Because SML deal, we don't know what happened, and many others. But I am telling you that the wheels of justice may grind slowly. But I'm telling you, but what is this your laughter today? It's only temporarily. Because your people, many of them will be brought to book, they will be prosecuted, and let it remain a shame. It's a dent even on the conscience of you, the NPP. Absolutely. That entire Ghana cannot wait to see you people prosecuted. It tells you the kind of things that you did in government.
There are comments in the comments. Emelda Nasser says the Attorney General must go.
No, I disagree. Look, Dr. Dominic Ayine and his deputy and their team, they are competent, they are up to task. And I tell you that I would prefer an Attorney General who may take 2 years or even 3 years to get his issues to court and win and get people prosecuted than one that, in response to emotional urgency, will rush cases and based on technical grounds, and because he has not done due diligence, will lose those cases. I stand firmly with the Attorney General and his deputy, and I am confident that knowing what I know, very soon, the demonstrations that you have started, when they invite your members, and then they invite them even for investigation, you are demonstrating. You go to Iyoko. Prepare to be sleeping at Nsawam with them, because some of them will be locked up. And when they are arrested and they are taken through the due process and they are duly prosecuted, nobody will shout witch hunting. Prepare to go and sit with them in Nsawam as well. Look, I want to appeal to the people of Ghana, especially the NDC members, that in the past, recall what happened in 2009. There were many issues, things like the Ghana had 50, where we all saw the things that went wrong. But you will go to court and all you hear is, oh, based on technical grounds, based on whatever, many of those issues went unprosecuted. But I am telling them that Dr. Dominic Ayine and his team are capable, they are competent, they are efficient, and they will ensure that people are prosecuted rightly. Roland, in conclusion, swift retribution may satisfy emotional urgency, but only transparent, thorough, and legally sound procedures can guarantee lasting justice. Again, swift retribution may satisfy emotional urgency, but it will take a thorough, meticulous, and adherence to due process to guarantee lasting justice. People will be prosecuted. Have confidence in the AG and in the government. Oral outcomes will be seen.
What do you say to all this as we move on to the next one?
Thank you. Mostly what happens is this, that when you see this emotional outburst and when you see all this big grammar, it's trying to hide something. What he's trying to hide is this. The people of this country were hoodwinked. The people of this country were deceived. The people of this country were told countless lies. It's all lies to say that people have done this in order to get power. Today you've got the power. Now, I understand the pain and the concern of people like Honorable Domilevo because they genuinely, sincerely believe that's what's happening. But I also know what is scaring them. What is scaring Honorable Domilevo and co is that they have seen how the nolle prosecutor has been used. They have seen how it has been given out nilly-willy to reward political members of the political party. They have seen how people have been allowed to get away with millions and millions of dollars under the guise of nolle prosecutor. So they are afraid that a similar political arena will be made. They are sincerely concerned.
When we are talking about, how does that relate to the exercise of nolle prosecutor by the attorney?
Accountability, holding people accountable for their actions or inactions whilst in office. How do you go and tell somebody that you are alleged to have stolen a million, let me say 10 million cedis. After the state has closed, everything has done, now you are telling the person, give me 6 million and keep 4 million. Now, even that, I'm thinking that the NDC has lost the moral power to begin to chase people for money because of what they did. If you add, just take a calculator and add the amounts that people have gotten away with through the nolle prosecutor. Just keep adding them. I want Ghanaians to do that. Add the money, all the people that have been let to go by the nolle prosecutor. Add the monies that you are allowed to have done. Keep it there. And then wait on, and also add everything that Solo has said. I have no cause with you, Solo, on this issue. It's accountability. So I'm telling you, if you add all the things you've said, and then you also add all the things the nolle prosecutor has said, I can tell you that the nolle prosecutors have wiped away all those savings that are supposed to happen. What that means is that the nolle prosecutors in and of themselves have created a huge financial hole. And that if you even take this money, if you take 100% of it and throw these people into jail for 1,000 years, you will not get that money back. What should have happened is that we collect both monies. So I'm also happy that you are concerned about the nolle prosecutors. I'm also happy that you are concerned that people who were in the NDC have been allowed to get away with all these monies. And that's why I understand the frustrations of Honorable General. That's why I understand the frustrations of Honorable Martin Amidu. That's why I understand the frustration of people who genuinely said, you are selling justice if you tell me, instead of oral, let's say, let's share. Why do you have that moral authority, to moral guts, to now say that I know what happened? You alluded to the banking crisis. I understand that. Yes, money was lost. How then do you say that here? You say you have the moral authority to say that even though I know that this amount of money was lost and you go home. But we are alleging that National Service you stole money, you will prosecute you. What kind of animal farm justice is that? Just look at that moral authority from and tell you where does it emanate from? How do you wake up in the morning and then say, okay, we know you've stolen, or we allege you've stolen, go home, not a prosecutor. But we know we allege you've stolen. Imagine, Solomon, in the perfect world. We are taking all the monies from the Imagine we did that. And then we took all this other money. Imagine we took all this money. Wouldn't this country have been better? So why are we throwing that away and this one? Is that not the definition of political witch hunting? Is that not the case of Tom and Jerry justice?
All right.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.